All right, guys, let's talk about this Lakers versus Nuggets series. I want to I want to pull up some stats on it because we haven't necessarily went over any of the game one, game two, and or game three. Game three just happened last night. But I just want to give you my thoughts on this series. First off, I just want to say I hate that they're putting all the blame on the coach, as I do not believe Darvin Ham is the sole reason why the Lakers are losing these games. As you just look at these stats and you look at the matchups, to me, the best team is winning. Obviously, the Lakers have had a chance to win every single game, but as I said, they don't have a complete roster, in my opinion. You got D'Angelo Russell; he's very inconsistent at point guard. Austin Reeves, I don't think he's a very good starter. For a lot of teams, he would be coming off the bench, in my opinion. They have him as their starting two. And then you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Rui to round out the starting lineup. But just one thing that I would like to say is that Anthony Davis his production level has been great stat-wise. Just referencing his game 3 performance, he's had 33 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 assists, which is great. But it seems like a lot of empty stats, in my opinion. As for the same with LeBron James, he had 26, 9, and 6. And Rui has been struggling the entire series, as well as with Russell with only 5 points. But overall, just watching the games, I absolutely hate LeBron's body language. Every time something goes wrong, he's throwing his hands up. It just seems like, I don't know what the media is doing, but they're not necessarily focusing on the real issues. The way it's always been, the stars are the ones that bring the games home. And it seems like in these fourth quarter, end of half situations, they're wanting guys like Rui and D'Angelo Russell to bail them out when you have a guy people consider the greatest player ever in LeBron James on your team, and he's not controlling the game when it comes to the time to control it. It's basically just showing you how dominant Nikola Jokic is. Just throughout this entire series, he's literally showing his will throughout this entire thing. And just to say, Jamal Murray hasn't played well, it seems like he can't get over this hump. He's been shooting not necessarily the greatest, but they're, as a team, figuring out how to get it done. You got Contavious Caldwell-Pope, who is very consistent as far as adding value to the team. He only had 5 last night, but I feel like his defensive presence and his intensity is adding a lot to this team, and I can't speak high enough about Aaron Gordon. Just his athleticism and the way they're using him is incredible. A lot of the times where you have a guy on the court that can't necessarily shoot, they become a liability, and they're just using him. They're using Aaron Gordon like the best you can use him. Like, he's a advanced tool for Jokic. It's like they're showing how dominant of a force they are, It's all 5 guys. Michael Porter Jr., we haven't even talked about him. Obviously, there's some things going off the court that's happening, but when I tell you on the court, he's shooting incredibly. He's making the clutch shot, and at all times he's making the right play. I felt like a lot of time last year he was overshooting, but right now I feel like he's got a perfect balance of when to pass, when to shoot. He's incredible on the boards. If maybe that's something I should look up, the rebounding battle. I can just tell you the Nuggets probably won. Michael Porter Jr., 10 rebounds. Aaron Gordon, 15 rebounds. Nikola Jokic, 15 rebounds, So overall, just looking into this series, it's an abundance of media pushing the narrative. Like, why can't the Lakers win? The Lakers are an inferior team. They're going against a juggernaut, and not even a juggernaut that was bought or finessed or manipulated to happen because of power, whatever it might be, like the Lakers are. But this team was built in the draft, built through free agency, built through actual putting a team together, growing with the team. So it's happy to see that the Denver are figuring out a way to get this done because they're doing it the grassroots way. They're not cheating the game, as I would say. But just looking at the Lakers roster, there's nothing, in my opinion, they have enough talent to get it done. They're not meshing as a squad. In my opinion, LeBron James needs to step up in the fourth quarter. He needs to step up defensively. Yesterday, I would say in the first quarter, he had a breakaway steal, and with that play, I could tell that it felt like all of his energy was gone after that play. And you know what I'm saying? It's just the perception of this team. It doesn't always match what the reality is. Like, this team on paper is good. Spencer Dinwiddie, he played better last night. He finally got some production. Gabe Vincent finally got some production. Prince, he's been, out of them three, he's been the most consistent. He always comes in and gives you a play or two. And D'Angelo Russell, him and LeBron just may not be a good match. It doesn't seem like he's able to get rhythm in this system. Like I don't know how you go make 0 points in a game. Like, I feel like sub in any average Joe, they're going to figure out a way to at least get 2 points. But overall, I don't feel bad for the Lakers. I feel like I'm not a fan of Austin Reeves. I'm just not really a fan of this Laker team, and it just is what it is. A lot of the blame gets put on the coach, and I think it's ridiculous. It's not all his problem. They've had leads. They had 20-point leads. They've had 10-point leads, and the leaders on the team aren't figuring out ways to get it done. This doesn't seem very LeBron-like in the history of how he controls systems and games. And just to go a tad bit deeper into it, I don't know. It seems like they're running away from a moment. They're not willing to put everything up against these guys for perception reasons. Overall, this isn't all-time great type of performance, and I'm well aware of his age and the roster around him, but to me, it's not cutting it. This is a negative as far as I'm not going to jump into legacies. Obviously, he's a great, and I love Brown, but I'm not a fan of the way this team was put together based on industry and pulling cords and, making things happen. This is what you get. You don't have a cohesive bunch of people. And I do think the Lakers, their role players are suffering from it, like Vincent, Dinwiddie, Prince, Gabe. I already said Vincent. Russell more so. I feel like Russell is and maybe Rui are the ones that are suffering the most. It's just not a lot of movement. Obviously LeBron is taking more threes, but he's traditionally not a three-point shooter. So him being out there is like having two centers out there. It's like him and Anthony Davis are the people that are in the post, And I'm just like, it seems like a reoccurring thing. These role players, there's so much weight put on their back when they're on a LeBron-led team. And I don't feel like this has been a thing that's been happening in the past. Like, I guess Kobe, if we can reference him, there was never this much weight put on Devin George or Trevor Ariza. I'm just trying to think of role players. And Derek Fisher is a clutch, but he's not a dynamic scorer. 12 points is incredible from him, you know what I'm saying? Or 8 points is incredible. It just seems like it's so much blame put on these role players, and it's not like, as a superstar, it's your job to bring it home. If it's a close game, all these games have been close. Even last night, I don't think, obviously, all them stat stuff and shit like that they're doing, I don't care about it. The Lakers should have lost by probably 10 to 15 points. But, It's all about to say that I'm the best scorer, we're the best, we scored this many points, but they're empty stats. You didn't win. The game was over. And you want perception to say that you did something or that it wasn't your fault. But as a watcher of the game, it's hard to watch. You know what I'm saying? To me, LeBron he's not playing well, and the media is not going to say it. But I will. I don't think he's playing well, and I want the Nuggets to sweep them. Peace.